शांति शांति शांति। आज के हमारा जाने तो लास्ट क्लास।
Too sad.
No, I am forced to cut out.
We have one request that in future, since we have started at the initial orientation, is it possible to have some classes from time to time in Google Meet? If you
Okay, Shambho, but not immediately, not in the month of January. Our calendar back to January. You know, we will go to the and then so many are waiting to bounce on me.
So whenever you will find some time, we can, Yoshizika can always create the link and share on us, and we can have some. So you can.
Now, another journey definitely. We will do it at some time. And I will suggest a course of videos. That help you build on these ideas. तो सब मैंने केवल एक्चुअली ऐसे ही अच्छे कि हम पेरे उठी ना ताकि टुडे इज द लास्ट क्लास और आज के हमरा ऐसा हमें गाइडेड मेडिटेशन करा हो around 10:30 we will do the meditation and 11 to 11:15 we will have a Q&A session but that guided meditation is important to sort of absorb all that we are talking about. So 1 hour class today, that will be guided meditation. And we will conclude today. But see, even when we conclude the courses in the various places, like Jaman Boyer suggested reading like that there are certain things which you can watch on YouTube. আমরা এখানে কিছু প্র্যাকটিক্যাল করতে পারলাম না other than today's guided meditation. Usually এইরকম একটা workshop or course or even education কে একটা practical session থাকে which means over a weekend you have to come and do certain things. But ওটা একবার হলো না. So it's okay, nothing to do. 3-day workshop is okay. But আপনি যখন বলছেন আমরা আমি কোনো সময় we can plan it out for January তে দিন. January তে
at least once or twice a month would be nice because every
No, I am absolutely fixed in Delhi. মানে আমি আপনাকে বলতে পারবো না আমি কত জিনিস ক্যান্সেল করে এসেছি এখানে আর these things are very much in demand because কেননা ওরা ইউনিভার্সিটিতে আসছে বলে that's why এখন ভিডিওস করে করে সবাইকে আমরা দিচ্ছি যেখানে ওরা টক চাইছে সেখানে আমরা কোনো একটা ভিডিও ফরওয়ার্ড করে দিই প্লিজ প্লে দিস
So when we watch the video after attending your class, then it makes more sense to us. That's why, we can wait till February. We can wait whole month of January, no problem. But if you just give us the guidance at which videos should we watch in what sequence, then we will do it ourselves, and then we will have one session with you to clarify all our doubts.
Definitely,
clarify our doubts because it is very important. As people are asking, raising questions, everyone is thinking on that line, what it is. So it is getting more into us.
देखो आज के जेटा আমি বলবো it is based on the video techniques of mind management. You please record this techniques of mind management. ওটা একটা 1.5 hour session in IIT Delhi হলো ওটাও ইউটিউবে আছে এনআরসিবি IIT Delhi চ্যানেলে আছে techniques of mind management. So practically number of techniques have been given everyday basis what you can practice and also the theory behind it. देखो দুটো জিনিস না দুটো জিনিস খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট থাকে in mind management. One is what we call cognitive reframing. এই পুরো কনসেপ্ট পদার্থ ইউনিভার্সিটিতে আছে আপনি জানেন মানে I simply unimaginable the level of research there reframing data. This is something we will study today. And secondly, laws of relationships. We are teaching all youngsters actually because they are playing with relationships today and getting into a mess. This is part of emotional intelligence, laws of relationships. Every young person should know this. Etaro video ache separate. There is a video on laws of relationships on YouTube. Dekhe nota. Cognitive reframing, it is part of this mind management techniques of mind management and all that. So ये दुटो आज के हमने discuss करें, then we will go into the guided meditation. Because we were discussing the formation of sanskars through repetition of breathing, right? This is the most important part. If what is inside us, ওটা যদি unstable থাকে, ঠিক না থাকে, the value system is completely gone. It is like that. No amount of control in any other way will bring about mind management. Your basic core values, they should be in order. Isn't it? Obviously, integrity, honesty, purity, these are core values. There should be no doubt about that. But today's generation wants to experiment with core values also. So this has to be given to them in a very undiluted format. Cognitive reframing is exactly helping us. It is going to help us do that. Core values ka intact rekhe. Through that, whatever filters into our conscious mind, why it should be regulated. Otherwise, we will mess up with our life and the lives of others also. That were a few decades only in solving self-created problems and issues. This is how many youngsters are living their lives today. And it's sheer waste of time and energy. And by the time you are 45, 50, why did I waste my life like this? And it's gone. But see, one thing you can't stop is time. We have all been given 1 unit of energy, 1 unit of time. Specific time. So if we don't utilize what are gala. Chaitanya cautiously to be able to lead human life maturely, cautiously, with giving enough thought to each step. This is what conscious living, living consciously, not being led by somebody's stupid thought to take you somewhere. So, in the creation of sanskars, cognitive reframing becomes important. দেখুন যখন আমরা বলি কি এই সংস্কার যেমন আমরা চাই ওরকম আমরা ক্রিয়েট করব কি করে, কেন কত কিছু ইনফ্লুয়েন্সেস আমাদের উপর পড়ছে। নাও ইউ ক্যানট মেক আ ব্ল্যাঙ্কেট রুল দ্যাট ডোন্ট হ্যাভ এক্সপোজার্স। হাউ ক্যান ইউ টুডেস ওয়ার্ল্ড হাউ ক্যান ইউ ডু ইট? তাই না? নানা রকমের ভাবনা, নানা চিন্তাধারা আমাদের উপর it is getting into our system. How exactly do we maintain our balance in this state of mind? How much do we absorb? What do we allow to become sanskar? What do we not allow? That will depend on the filter you install in your mind based on your core values. When core value sensitivity যদি না থাকে, life will take you anywhere. তাই না আজকে western societies are suffering with so much. See, সেই জন্য প্রথম জিনিস হলো goal orientation. It is essentially part of cognitive reframing. I have decided my goal in life and I will move towards it. এখন আমরা এই ক্লাসের জন্য সবাই মিলে কলকাতা থেকে যেখানে আছে ওখান থেকে এখানে এলাম because we knew we wanted to, this was the destination. If I did not have a destination, আমি যে কোনো জায়গায় যেতে পারতাম না। দক্ষিণেশ্বরে এসেও এখানে ওখানে যেতে পারতাম। যে কোনো জায়গায় মন যাবে, if it is not fixed that this is where I want to go, this is what I want to do. Changing goal orientation is the first step forward. अनेक बार की है, okay, when we were teenagers, we had our goals. We had to get a good job, create a good family, so we had our goals. But after 35, your midlife crisis, all your temporary goals you have met them. To a certain extent, at least you have been able to satisfy them. So the midlife crisis because what next to do? I don't know where to put my energy. So that is why long-term goals, which are based on a high ideal. This is important in every human life. Otherwise, again, we will go in all directions if I don't know where to go. So goal orientation, every decade of your life you must renew your goals. Not that ekbar I could goal sheet or choto vela doctor hoigla bas hoigala. Not like that. Just like how we update ourselves in whatever field we are working every few months, isn't it? Because knowledge is changing so fast. Like that you must update your goals. And there are something called short-term and long-term goals. Short-term is what we immediately want to do in the next 5 years. This is very important for young people. Kintu tarpore, what as a result of achieving those short-term goals, ki rakamer life hame lead korte chahi, kothay jete chahi, sheshe I what exactly I want to do. That is the long-term goal which should be fixed. And every decade it will renew itself, or refine hote jayega. Mone korun at the age of 30 you had a long-term goal, well settled, peaceful life, jekhane ekটু sadhan bhajan korte parbo. By the age of 40, you should have realized that goal, and the new renewal for that goal is how do I dive further into meditation? How do I achieve purity of mind? Like this, we renew our goals every decade. Then only you can move forward. This is very important because your cognitive reframing will be based on your level of goal orientation. Why will I want to do cognitive reframing if I have no goal orientation? Right now, cognitive reframing means changing the nature of your mind, your cognitions. ওটা কি করে করা হয় আমরা ওটা ডিসকাস করব। Okay, let's see. See, in cognitive reframing, আমরা replacing thought patterns consciously. এটা করি, which means on an everyday basis মনের মধ্যে I consciously decide how I will think and feel, not based on the situation. रोज सकाले जब ध्याনের পরে একটু এটার উপর খেয়াল রাখতে হয় throughout the day কি ভাব চলছে মনের মধ্যে, is it a sullen একটা নেগেটিভ ভাব, না ভালো লাগছে না, না কারোর উপর রাগ আছে, এইগুলো থাকলে এটা একেবারে ক্লিয়ার করে দিতে হয়। Consciously replacing our thought patterns by being humble, grateful. These are all the methods. Humility, একটা egoistic attitude নিয়ে change কিছুই change করা যায় না। Deep humility, gratefulness, gratitude যাকে বলে, ওই ভাব মনের মধ্যে, thankfulness for whatever you have in life, kindness, মানে going out of the way and doing good. These are all ways to replace thought patterns consciously. কেউ আমার উপরে তো রাগ করছে বলে আমিও the same এটা দিলাম। If I do this, I will get into very negative states. তাহলে উপায় কি? এখন work place it can be possible that somebody is simply behind you or খুব negative vibrations দিচ্ছে. What do I do? If I react back in the same coin, my mood is spoiled. Cognitive reframing suggests that fourfold step আছে ওটা। मैत्री, करुणा, मुदिता और उपेक्षा। It is a possibility of Sutta. Mudita, upeksha. I will tell you what this is. See, all these are steps. First is goal orientation. Second is replacing thought patterns consciously. Third is this cognitive reframing step. Eta, if the second step,
What is the third one?
mudita.
Mudita.
Mudita. Mudita. Anupeksha. See, if you have practiced step 2 properly, what will happen? একটা সুন্দর ভাব মনের মধ্যে থাকবে সবসময়। You are full of gratitude for everything. Actually speaking, a gratitude and there is absolutely no substitute for this bhav. যে কোনো জিনিস আমাদের যে কোনো স্টেটে আমরা থাকি, if you are grateful to everything around you, to the people who have created your life, to the দেখুন এখন এত সুন্দর একটা অ্যাম্বিয়েন্সে আছে, এত ভালো একটা ইনস্টিটিউটে আছে, ঠাকুর আমাদের দয়া করে এখানে এনেছেন। Are we grateful in any way? আমরা কি ওটা প্রকাশ করি? Usually আমরা করি না। Usually আমরা করি না, we take it for granted. But for even for a single plate of food to come in front of you, 15 to 20 people have worked for it. ওদের লেবার্সকে আমরা থ্যাঙ্ক করবো না, গ্রেটফুল থাকবো না? ইজ অ্যাকচুয়াল ফ্যাক্ট। এখন আমরা ব্রেকফাস্ট করে এসেছি, কতজন রাইট ফ্রম দ্যাট ফার্মার হু সোড সিডস, কতজনের লেবারে আমার ওই ব্রেকফাস্ট তৈরি হয়েছে। আই নেভার পেড ব্যাক ইন এনি ওয়ে। এটলিস্ট মনের ভাবের দ্বারা we can pay back to each person by being grateful for the meal. এটি হলো কথা। এই মনের ভাব থাকলে you will not suffer negativity, because our life is full of blessings which we don't recognize. This is actual fact. যখন আমি এই কথাটা দিল্লি আইটিতে বললাম, সত্যি all those youngsters were very shocked. It is a fact. Now you are 20 years old, 22 years old. 22-year-old body was fed by thousands of people over all these years. In what way have you paid back to them? আর কোনোদিন চিন্তা করেনি ওরকম। So being grateful, being thankful, it is not an option. মনের ভাব, that fundamental মনের ভাব থাকলে naturally you will be humble, because you are a product of the labors of others. Life is interconnected. Karori exclusive life nahi. Nobody is an island. Life is interconnected. So by being grateful, you pay back moner dwara. আমাদের সবসময় পঞ্চমহাযজ্ঞ ছিল না? There's a concept called Panchamahayagna Vede, which means you are grateful at all levels to ancestors, to rishis, to teachers, to parents, আর সব লিভিং বিংসের প্রতি। কেননা আমরা এত কিছু নিচ্ছি, আমরা জানি না। আমরা দেখুন এই গাছপালা যেটা আমরা we are so great removing today from our cities. What we are breathing is due to them. They are maintaining the oxygen levels, isn't it? কোনোদিন আমরা ওদের প্রতি ওই ভাব রাখি? আমি দেখেছি ওটা প্রতি বছর আমি ওই হিমালয় গিয়ে থাকি, মানে few months I tried to spend there. ওখানে আমি দেখেছি they are so sensitive to the trees and মানে ওদের vegetation. They are so sensitive. যদি কেউ হাত দেয় ওরা ঘিরে দাঁড়িয়ে পড়ে, কেননা they feel the living presence. নেচারের মধ্যে থাকলে না এটা হয়ে যায়, মাইন্ড ম্যানেজমেন্ট আপনি হয়ে যায়। তো বিকজ they live like that. হিমালয় যেখানে আমরা আমাদের সেন্টার্স আছে, ওই ভিলেজেসে এই ভাব খুব আছে। They will not allow anybody to touch one tree. কেন ওরা বলে আরে we are breathing because of this. It is part of your lung mechanism. And are we grateful for that? A gratefulness nahi bole all levels of corruption as well. So value begins from within me. Through all these are mechanisms to generate that state. Being grateful, being thankful everyday basis. দেখুন আমরা যখন আমরা কালী বাড়ি গেলাম, মা সামনে দাঁড়িয়ে এটা ওটা 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 চাই, কোনোদিন আমরা বলি মা কত কিছু দিয়েছো, আমি কি বলবো তোমাকে, অনেক অনেক থ্যাঙ্কস, আমরা কোনোদিন বলি বলি আপনারা বলবেন, বাট নর্মাল অর্ডিনারি পার্সন ডাজন্ট সে দ্যাট। একটা লিস্ট থাকে, আমার এটা চাই ওটা চাই ওটা চাই ওটা চাই। মা কত কিছু দিয়েছো, সব কিছু দিয়েছো মা, এটা বলার ক্ষমতা চাই। দিস শোজ আ ম্যাচিওর মাইন্ড। You are acknowledging the blessings of your life, the bounties of your life. এই ভাব থাকলে you will not suffer negativity. আর দেন এটার সঙ্গে আরেকটি ভাব যায়, এটা হলো appreciating others with gratitude, appreciation of others. এইটা না থাকলে বাস only negativity will reign. মেয়েরা কত কিছু কন্ট্রিবিউট করেছে বলে আমরা আজ যেটা আছি, we are that. Isn't it right? From our parents, everything is a contribution. ওটা জেনে how grateful are, how much do we appreciate it. এটা একজনের এই স্বভাবে থাকে না, আরো সমাজে কিছু থাকে। Every day if you don't talk good well of others, you will not have positive state of mind. रोज एक ब्रेकिंग न्यूज देखे, मीडिया देखे, your entire thought process is based on negativity. Please see this. This is a huge challenge to the modern age. কত ভালো জিনিস হচ্ছে, neither media has time to focus on that because it runs on sensational news only, and not have we the sense to understand that I am taking in so much negativity through all this. কত ভালো জিনিস হচ্ছে। দিল্লি ইউনিভার্সিটি দেখুন এগুলো সব হচ্ছে, কিন্তু ওদের ফোকাস থাকে জেএনইউর উপর, কে কোথায় ঝগড়া করলো, কে কি বললো, কি অবাক লাগে। It's a skewed version of reality. What I'm trying to tell you is ভালো জিনিসের উপর attention দেওয়া, ওটাকে appreciate করা, very important for healthy mind. Please tell this to your students also. The problem issue, people are hardly 5%, but the whole attention will be on them always. 95% যেটা ভালো হচ্ছে সেটাও দেখবেন, আর সেটার সম্বন্ধে বলবেন, সেটা নিয়ে আনন্দ করবেন, মনের ভাব ন্যাচারালি পজিটিভ থাকে। This is what I mean when I say being thankful, being appreciative of others' efforts. যারা শুধু critical and talking negatively of others, they cannot maintain positive state of mind. বেচারে একটু পরে frustration এ যায়, ওটা build up হয়ে depression হয়ে যায়। So all these are self-created problems. দেখুন এটাকে এটা ওরাও হ্যাপিনেস স্টাডি করছে তো ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল ইউনিভার্সিটিতে, একটা কনসেপ্ট ওরা ইনভেন্ট করছে সেভারিং বলে। সেভারিং মানে appreciating with enthusiasm so that you feel the positivity of that experience. সেবা করা, কোথাও কিছু ভালো হলো, with enthusiasm we should be able to say it. এই ছোট ছোট জিনিস কিন্তু আমরা খেয়াল করি না, সেই জন্য the negativity stress builds up because you are not seeing the positive what to do. So that is why I said replacing thought patterns consciously, very primary step to mind management. So natural default state of everyday experience should be gratefulness, full of gratitude, thankfulness, full of the joy and bounty of life, helpfulness, kindness, আর মুখ দিয়ে অন্যের ভালো কথাই বেরোয়। এইরকম লোক কোনোদিন নেগেটিভিটি সাফার করে না, দেখেছেন আপনি? Have you met people like this? একজন ডক্টর ছিলেন, উনি he was চাইল্ড স্পেশালিস্ট ছিলেন, তারপর উনি অনেক বাচ্চাদের even after his retirement he helped so many kids to to come out of for education, to come out of whatever their circumstances, and Nana at least 1,000-1,500 children he helped in various ways. আর উনি সবসময় খুব ভালো এটা নিয়ে থাকতেন, কেউ যদি জিজ্ঞাসা করে আপনি কেমন আছেন, খুব ভালো আছে, আপনি কেমন আছেন বলুন বলতেন, সর্বদা আনন্দে থাকতেন, একটা ব্লিসফুল ভাব সর্বদা। তো যখন উনি মারা গেলেন, আফটার around 80 something he died, তো ওরা যখন ওই পোস্টমর্টম রিপোর্ট বার করেছে, দেখেছে nothing is already in his body. Actually cancer had spread, but he never realized. উনি টেরই পাননি, কেন সবসময় মনের ভাব, full of enthusiasm and energy and always great, full of gratitude for his life and always willing to help others. এই স্টেট অফ মাইন্ড উনি এত সুন্দর মেনটেন করেছিলেন, উনি বুঝতেও পারেননি যে his body was doing so badly. What I'm saying is mind affects body.
Can I say something? In this context, I just wanted to give the example of my own father. My father was juvenile diabetic, so he used to have dialysis towards and quite at an early age, since mid-50s. So, and we all know how painful the process is. And first, when doctors said that there will be dialysis, and then doctor said that with the condition he can take it only maybe for a year. But this positive thinking, so one day at that time I used to stay in Delhi. So from there I came to know, and I called up my father, and while talking to him I was kind of crying. Then he told me that, have you thought it this way? That time my daughter was born. That because there is this treatment, so I can see your daughter. Otherwise I would have, and at that time he was still working in the bank. So we told him, I and my sister, that you take VRS. So he said, what will I do? Taking VRS every day, morning till night, I think that my kidneys have got damaged, I'm having dialysis, it's a big thing. So twice a week he would take dialysis for 6 hours, and still he would go to office and work. In the morning he would work, and in the afternoon he would go for dialysis. So when doctor said it will be a maximum a year, he survived 3.5 years. And when he passed away, it was like, I've done everything, I've lived my life, I've seen everything, and that is, so whoever used to ask him, how are you? Because he was unwell, everybody, and he would say, oh, I'm all right. So this is something I can relate that, and that is why perhaps he could survive 3.5 years.
And this matters a lot. What exactly you talk, how you think, your usual thought patterns, your default state of mind, all this matters in a big way, even for your physical health. আর ভালো ভালো ভাবকে encourage করা, this has to be practiced. Before I go into this is such an important step. এখানে আরেকটি গল্প আমি আপনাকে বলতে পারবো, even through your body language, through your speech, যাতে সাত্বিক ভাব প্রকাশ পায়. This is so very important because it's finally going to impact you. It is finally going. It is so important to tell this to our youngsters today. The way you talk, the way you interact, the way you sit, the way you walk, the way you dress, all this will finally impact your mind the most. And it will change the nature of your mind. So, behavior and at the same time I will do mind management. This doesn't match. There's a way of conduct, there's a code of conduct. If you live in a particular way, these things will naturally come to you. Amar mone ache, this is also a true story. There was one American girl. ও 15-16 বছর বয়সে খুব ডিপ্রেশনে চলে গেল। এত গভীর ডিপ্রেশন, she was taking antidepressants every day and she could not come out of it. আর ও নানা রকম ওখানকার, she was actually very much addicted to western music, dance, এগুলো সব করতো অনেক কিছু, কিন্তু she fell out of college She could not go to college because of all this depression. So her friends, she had some friends and cousins or something like in India. So ওরা ওকে একটা হলিডের জন্য এখানে ডেকে আনলো, মানে spend some time with us. So for 3 months she came to India. আর ওই সময়ও মানে they saw that how she is suffering from depression. মানে she could sleep for 12 to 16 hours just to overcome her depression. তখন ওরা একদিন ওকে এখানে ওখানে নিয়ে যেত, একদিন ভরতনাট্যম পারফরমেন্সে নিয়ে গেছিল। And she saw that Bharatnatyam for the first time. আর ওর খুব ভালো লাগলো। তারপর ওর টিচার কাছে গিয়ে বলেছে যে আমি কি এটা শিখতে, আমাকে শেখাবেন এটা, I love dance. তো টিচার বলেছে yes, you enroll yourself and we will teach you. And that girl studied Bharatnatyam for the 3 months that she was here. And towards the end of that period, she is coming out of her depression. একেবারে ওই গ্লাম ভাব, একটা ভালো লাগছে না, ওটা একদম নেই। So she asked her teacher, এটা কি করে হচ্ছে? This dance is removing me out of depression. Then the teacher told her, you tell me Bharatnatyam তুমি কি exactly করছো? You are portraying the emotions of gods. হয় না? শিবের ভাব, দুর্গার ভাব, কৃষ্ণের ভাব, এইগুলি পোর্ট্রে করছো। How will you ever go into depression? Something very elevating if you are portraying through your body language. তো তোমার মনের মধ্যে ওই ভাবে উঠছে, কি করে তুমি ডিপ্রেশনে যাবে? So what I'm trying to say is, on a regular basis, if you impinge, bathe in all this, কি করে কোন নেগেটিভিটিতে যাবে? Body and mind have to be used like that. That's why sattvic ways of life. আমাদের culture it always told us this, is it? সকালে উঠে স্নান করে আগে পুজো করো, তারপরে এটা সবসময় ছিল, for this simple reason. এখনই এইগুলো সব আরম্ভ হয়েছে, do anything with your body, and at the same time they will come to mind management class also. এটা বিরাট থিওরি আছে উইলিয়াম জেমসের, what you do with your body will impact your mind the most. So take care of everything. তারপরে ও মেয়েটা সবকিছু ছেড়ে দিয়ে she focused only on Bharatnatyam. She became renowned Bharatnatyam dancer and no depression সব চলে গেল। Some sattvic art form will lift your mind. So there are so many ways to lift mental energies. Right now music আছে, devotional music. তারপর ভজন, কীর্তন, পুজো, arts in this form, painting, sculpture. With anything you can lift your mind, or you can degrade it also if it is not sattvic. যে কোনো জিনিস নিয়ে এগুলো করলে you can deplete, remove your energy also. So focus on, see, in India the glory of our spiritual heritage was, it affected our culture so deeply. Till about 18th century, almost all of our art, sculpture, music, everything was devotion based. And language was Sanskrit based. Because they understood the value of all this. Today cultural values nana bhave dite hoche because it is not there in the air. We must become particular about all this, otherwise it is, mind always will behave crazy. These are all ways to regulate the thought process, to naturally bring about mind management, a calm state within yourself, so that you can work well in this world. So already they are embedded in our cultural values. তারপরে third step যেটা আমি বলেছি, মৈত্রী, করুণা, মুদিতা, উপেক্ষা. See, in Patanjali Yogasutras, ওটাকে cognitive reframing বলছে না, কিন্তু he gives this as the remedy to anything falling on you from the outside. which means generally if you are in the company of the very good, he says, Maitri practice kori. Mane be friends with them. Or if you are in the company of the afflicted, sorrowful, karuna practice kori. Don't allow that mood to affect you, but your reaction should always be positive. This is what we say. In whatever company you are, in whatever ambience you are, this is how he is teaching us. Mudita, be happy in the company of the happy. Or upeksha, be indifferent to the evil minds. Because just now you can't go and correct them, isn't it? But you can't be affected by them also. Any group of people, 2 to 3% will be, there will be toxic people. Eta niye যদি আমরা একটু মাথা কামিয়ে বসে থাকি, why this person is doing this, why this person is doing this, তো আমাদের জীবন গেল. You know toxic people very well, I don't have to tell them. So, accepting the nature of life, you must know how to jump over it. Otherwise, again, negativity follows. So, see, cognitive reframing actually means ability to replace thought with another thought and condition it in such a manner it has now become part of your personality, part of your mind. So this is how he is giving clues, you see. In this company be like this, in this company be like this. Don't get affected by it. Because ultimately your response is all that matters. In mind management techniques, in a condition through through meditation. It's a kind of meditation where you constantly dwell on the nature of your soul. I am pure, I am ever awakened, I am a child of God. If you keep asserting this, Swamiji এটা বলছেন না কোথাও what happens is your cognitive reframing you are doing. So there are meditations based on this. Of the form of affirmations of our own real nature. No harm can come to me. I am a child of God. All power is within me. I can do anything and everything. I am of the nature of pure being, Satchidananda. I am of the nature of divine. I have no fear, I have no anger. এগুলো practice করতে gradually we change the normal thought currents of our mind. So it is through this cognitive reframing that you are able to change your sanskars and memories. If I consciously keep replacing thought like this, gradually our sanskar and our smriti দুটোই পরিষ্কার হয়ে যায়. So there are techniques to change mind. And never এরকমের ডায়লগ কোনোদিনই বলবে না, না পাচ্ছি না, আর কিছু করা যাবে না. Doesn't befit you. আমরা সব সলিটিউড মেয়েরা, we should say I can do anything and everything. Even if 100 people tell you you cannot do, you should say I can do. So everything ultimately depends on our little dialogue. Consciously what you think repeatedly will become your sanskar, and that only generates memories. The conscious thought process has to be taken into our hands. এটা হলো কথা। If you live unconsciously, you will become compulsive. Which means you are living only quarter of your life because you are unconscious. Full life we are running the dazed state. This is the cause for all our negativity and problems. মনের মধ্যে সংস্কারের নেগেটিভ সংস্কার থাকলে এই যে ষড়ঋতু কাম ক্রোধ লোভ মোহ মাৎসর্য তখন ওরকম আনকনশিয়াস মাইন্ড হয়ে যায়। Some rubbish is circulating within the mind and you are not able to handle the conscious brain thought. Conscious mind में something is going on. এটা ভগবদ গীতায় আছে না? केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पुरुषः अनिच्छापि वासनेन बलादेव नियोज्यते। अर्जुन जिज्ञासा करছে কৃষ্ণকে कि अतः केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पाप মানুষ করে কেন? Doesn't he know it is wrong to do that, it is harming somebody? तब वो केन करे? He is not in control of himself. He is not conscious, is only functioning as per his very bad sanskars. Kamayesha, Krodhesha, Rajoguna Samabhavaha, Mahashama Mahapapma, Vidhenam Iha Vairinam. Kam, Krodh, Madhuloma, Moha, Matsarya. This is the cause for sin, Krishna. And know these to be your enemies here. Vairinam. And see how we are encouraging all this. যেটা আমাদের enemies ওটাকে আমরা friends করে রেখেছি। That is why I said if core values are not in order, society will remain unstable. আপনারা এখন ধরে রাখবেন, see teachers are invaluable in this process. If a teacher is insistent on certain values, the student will pick up that sanskar. Teachers and mothers, parents, that is the only way sanskars can be produced and changed, not through legislation, not through public or private policies. Only teacher and mother. So you be insistent on these things to your students. Jate ekbar oka, it is finally they understand that this is to be done, this is not to be done, this is wrong, this is right. If teacher is shallow, a whole generation will become shallow. So this is how cognitive reframing has been described in yoga psychology. And next, আমরা laws of relationships এ যাব quickly. See, এখানে this does not make so much apply to this group, but to today's youngsters this is very important because they this part of emotional intelligence is not taught to them at all. See, it is like this. We have one unit of energy in our system. So, mental energy, emotional energy, in all these ways I express it. I have one unit of energy, vital energy. Thought, emotion are all expressions of vital energy. Oi energy, how I will use? See, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. but it can be converted from one form to another. How I use that energy will decide my character and finally my personality, whatever, how I can function in this world. Impact comes only from character. Impact does not come from grooming. Impact comes from commitment and dedication. Impact does not come from behavior. Chaitanya Swamiji was so insistent on character for right education, isn't it? Education means character development both है Swamiji. You develop yourself perfectly first and you will become a force for change. If you know 1,000 things in the head, you won't become a force for change. Google is there to give us information whenever we want. But essentially building myself is building my inner world, my character. So this level of energy, if I misuse it, I will be depleted. Essentially, emotional intelligence means I am able to raise my energy to its highest possibilities, especially emotional energy. And that comes only through commitment. Highest possibility money, it is reaching its peak. That will come only through commitment. So in relationships, if there is no commitment, you are wasting your life and energy. Finally, you will be depleted. And also you will affect other lives adversely. This much sense we don't have today. This was fundamentally our cultural value that you can't play with relationships. They should be kept sacrosanct. ওখানে আমরা ইন্ট্রোডিউস করেছি এখন রামায়ণের গল্প, তারপর রিলেশনশিপ সাইকোলজি, যেমন ভরত আর শ্রীরামের ওই ইনসিডেন্টস, Sita Ramer incidents, এগুলো এসব ইন্ট্রোডিউস করা হচ্ছে. It is part of contemplative psychology. For the simple reason, you must understand to what heights a relationship can take you or where it can degrade you. Everybody is running to make relationships, but are you fit for it? You want to share something which is undeveloped, it will not work. So নিজের time and life and everything waste করায় আর কিছুই না. Another thing which we tell them is until the age of real maturity is reached, one should not even think of all this. এটাই হলো আমাদের ব্রহ্মচর্য আশ্রম. Vedic age এটা mandatory ছিল. Because if a very young plant, if fruit comes in that plant, you have to, the plant will go down. আমরা আগে ওটা তুলে দিই না যাতে ওটা ফুল গ্রোথ হয়. So our mind also is like that. It has to be first cultivated, ennobled. মানে উচ্চ ভাব নিয়ে থাকার একটা ক্ষমতা আসুক, তারপরে তো রিলেশনশিপস, তারপরে গৃহস্থাশ্রম আসতো. আগে থেকে this aspect of life is not really experimented with and it should remain closed. এটাই অনেকে বলে এটা এক্সট্রিম, যেটা আমরা বলছি, কিন্তু this was the way of life in the Vedic age. কেননা animal energies don't require training. It is raising of human energy that requires training. So এই fundamental training যদি ছোটবেলায় হয়ে যায়, you will, of course, you will be a good grihastha, you will be, whatever you do, you will be good at that. So this ashram is very important. Okay, society should protect it for its own sake. Swamiji ekta jayagaয় বলছেন, truth does not bow down to society, ancient or modern. Society has to bow down to truth or die. I think society will not bothered about its own welfare. Then who will bother? So relationships, if they are committed, they will lead to emotional intelligence, not otherwise. Otherwise it's sheer depletion and waste of energy and life. And all these strange problems which our youth force is facing. Concentration korte parchina, ADHD, OCD, তারপর মেয়েদের কথা তো ছেড়েই দিন, নানা রকম এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করে so this we should be adamant about this if we want to manufacture real intelligence. Otherwise very mediocre. দেখুন যে ইন্ডিয়ানসরা বাইরে যাচ্ছে, to at least up to 80% of them are doing very well in those societies for this simple reason. All the Indians who are going out, যে youngsters IIT, IIMs থেকে বাইরে যাচ্ছে, USA, Europe, 80% of them flourish, they do very well because of this factor. বাড়িতে ওই কন্ডিশনিং এখনো আছে কি all this has to be maintained. In many Western societies this is vanished. ওটার জন্য ওরা ভিতরে স্টেবিলিটি রাখতে পারে, নিজের কমিটমেন্টস রাখতে পারে, and they flourish. They maintain their concentration levels. So this is crucial factor. মনের বাজে খরচ করতে নেই, এটা হলো কথা। Otherwise, what happens is, emotionally if you are unstable, don't think IQ will develop. IQ also will become unstable. In today's estimation of intelligence, EQ occupies a greater place than IQ. EQ is greater than IQ. More important. এখানে স্টেবিলিটি না থাকলে never will your intelligence be stable. এখন নানা রকম কোশ্চেন্স এসছে today's estimation of intelligence. There is something called EQ, IQ, VQ also, which is volitional quotient. To what extent your willpower works? Then AQ also, which is adversity quotient. In adversity, how balanced you are. Then SQ also, your spiritual quotient, which is ultimate, which means how detached and objective can you review every situation, and how well developed is your heart. কতটা সেলফ অ্যাওয়ারনেস আছে, how objectively can you see in every situation, and well developed heart, which means kindness আছে, compassion আছে, that is spirituality. So see, all these quotients are important, but very crucial is EQ. To what extent our emotions are balanced. এটা তো analytical ability के IQ बोला है, और VQ is volitional quotient, your ability to will correctly and make that will work, so you get results out of whatever you will. And AQ is adversity quotient, যে কোনো problem situation e how to handle it. So if all this is well developed, तबे SQ. If all these are well developed, then it will produce spiritual intelligence. But in addition to that, spiritual intelligence has something else, a kind of conscious awakening from within. Right, actually, yoga, money. But at least this much we should know, that if we are imbalanced in all this, ota prashna hi uchhe na.
What is VQ?
VQ is volitional quotient. V stands for volition. अनेके सारा कण चेंज करते थे ना decisions. तो low VQ होता. If you are not a good decision maker, it means your VQ is low. So in the laws of relationships, first thing to know about relationships is commitment. Because any relationship will work only if there is commitment. Not that it is there so that to sweeten our life. It will work if there is commitment. Otherwise it will not work. Secondly, relationship is meant to ennoble human life. Raise it, not degrade it. So, what are upaya? Thirdly, only when you have the maturity to be very well without any, you really have something to share, then only you can create a relationship. You yourself are bankrupt, what will you share? अनेके डिप्रेशन में जाने और रिलेशनशिप्स को ले जाए, है ना? वालों लक्ष्य ना बोले जाए, तो you will flop everything. A relationship is a sharing ground only if you have something valuable to share. Your mind is developed, your heart is developed. Even a simple friend, relationship with a friend. If you are an undeveloped person, will the friendship last? So relationship psychology from Virat Kore, it has come into modern psychology because seeing how our societies are going, they are forced to introduce. So egolas are basic to managing mind. If all this stands on your core values which we discussed, isn't it? कोई गुरु ठीक ना थाके, एगुलो किचुई लड़ाई ना. All this will collapse. In fact, there's a book called Collapse. Jared Diamond book. He shows how societies collapse. And how many societies have collapsed? Uthachiro in Roman Empire. It was the glory of its day. All roads lead to Rome, isn't it? Why it collapsed? Why did the Roman Empire collapse? Yes. Abuse of power and corruption. Yes. And the permissive way the society had become. Zoo animals, they released they would make them fight slaves. And the whole gallery, they were attacked and torn apart. Will you call this a human society? So when such things are happening in society, you should know that is a very, very degraded society. Women should become all the more conscious of all this. When any form of violence is shown towards women, even if it is just shown, and if it doesn't make your blood boil, then it is a degraded state. Women can do a whole lot of things if they only will it. Any form of degradation of womanhood, women's values, if it is shown, you must stand up against it. That is how we maintain balance in society. So, all this was considered part of mind management. और अनेक किछु आज आपने वही लेक्चर में देखने में समय हो गया है that techniques of mind management. You please watch that lecture and I think you will get many techniques. So now I want to go into the guided meditation. Because that is very important. How do we do guided meditations? How to still the mind? How to bring in the correct thought? How to replace thought? It's how we call it. How to affirm positive things. Everything guided meditation do. Guided meditation is already on YouTube. Do talk guided meditations actually. One is a 5-minute meditation which was given to this ID. And another is a 15 minute, 20, almost 20-minute meditation. उसका नाम हलो योग वेदांत guided meditation.
Please can you write it down?
Yes. এটাতে especially ওই লম্বা টানা ওমকার আছে ওম. So many put it on and they do the meditation.
Which was the other one?
This one is the this is the 15-minute meditation. It goes for almost 17 minutes like that. And the 5-minute one is just called guided meditation. अपनी नाम देवे. Like if you put Vedanta Prana, Yoga Vedanta guided meditation, this will open. Vedanta Prana just guided meditation, this one will open. But try to practice this one because to 15 minutes देवे to bring the mind to a state of stillness. We'll do it here also. Please sit straight. ওখানে আমরা আমাদের লেগস ফোল্ড করতে বলি কিন্তু এখানে এটা সম্ভব নেই সো জাস্ট প্লিজ সিট স্ট্রেট এমনি বাড়িতে করলে আপনি পদ্মাসনে বসবেন for your keep the spine straight. The essential thing is to keep the spine absolutely straight and to breathe very slowly. That will calm the mind naturally. So we will do this now. Sit straight. Close your eyes. Maybe I will have my eyes open to watch you. Be as still as possible for the next 15 minutes. Now gradually regulate your breath. Watch your breath first. See that it is slow. See that it is very regulated. And look at its effect on your mind. It's very breathing. The mind will become calm. Step সময় নিয়ে করতে হয়. You can invest 2-3 minutes, but make sure your breathing pattern is very, very calm. Slow. Not rushed. ছুটে এসেই বসে মেডিটেশন করা যায় না. First, regulate your breath. Look at the effect on your mind. Once the breathing is long, long breathing, मन अपना आप ही शांत हो जाए. This is the connection between breath and mind. watch your mind. See how the thoughts have almost stopped. कोई रश नहीं, कोई एंजाइटी नहीं, कोई चिंता प्रवाह नहीं, no worries. Just be breathing and we have a calm mind. These thoughts will come. Just watch it. Just watch this state. Don't participate in any thought. कोनो भाव उठे, कोनो चिंता उठे, just go like a whirlwind. Don't follow it. Now you are aware of your entire mental field. এটা বেশিরভাগই ফাঁকা হয়ে গেছে। এটা দেখুন, feel it. Your conscious mind is quite empty of thought compared to what it was 15 minutes back. Keep on the breathing with me. Breathing should be long and drawn out. And mind will remain like this. Feel the truth of this, that your thought you can observe. See if this is true or not. You can observe your thought, you can observe the absence of thought. You are aware of what is happening in your mental field. This is what Vedanta tells you. You got that awareness, this is Now I will introduce the meditation. Don't identify anything in the mind. So when you see here, when you are aware of the absence of a thought process in your mind, we will introduce a guided meditation. We will introduce the chanting of Om God, because Om represents the mind empty of thought but full of awareness. Om is your inner nature. Om is your true name. This is the actual nature of your mind. Pakha mind. Shuddha Pavitra mind, full of awareness, without conditioned thought process. So to reinforce this, we will chant Om few times. আমার সাথে করতে পারে। emotions. When there is no unwanted thought, the image is bright. It is lit by your awareness. এখানে আমরা ঠাকুরের সামনে বা মার সামনে বসে ওই পজিটিভ অ্যাফার্মেশনস করব। আমি বলবো, আমাকে আপনারা রিপিট করবেন। I am a child of light. I am a child of God. All strength is within me. All power is within me. All bliss is within me. I am extremely peaceful. I am of the nature of the divine. All power is within me. Everything that I need is within me. I can do anything and everything. There are no fears in my life. There are no obstacles in my life. Because I am a child of God, I can do anything and everything. I will use my mind as an instrument of God. My body is an instrument of the divine. I am a child of God, so I can do anything and everything. I am full of the radiance of God, so no negativity can come near me. I am of the nature of Sat Chit Anand. This is my true nature. I am the immortal soul. I am a part, a ray of God. I belong to God and I will merge in God. Now we will slowly open our eyes. And notice the calmness in your heart. একটা জায়গায় আমরা এই মেডিটেশন করলে ওরা কেঁদে ফেলেছে, because they never tried to stop their mind. Only when they tried this, they felt that it can be done. So you see, you can stop your thought process, right now. এই ভাব ধরে রাখলে will you suffer from negativity and all that? So foolish, right now. রেকর্ড হয়েছে আর এটাতে আছে ইউটিউবে ওই প্রথম Hatha meditation and Yoga Vedanta meditation. See, that may be slightly different. Both of these are slightly different. কেননা ওখানে আমি ওদেরকে শেষের দিকে ঠাকুর মা চিন্তা করতে বলি না, নানা even from other religions বাচ্চারা থাকে তো. So we tell them just to think about Om. Just to think about the sound symbol of God for the next 1 minute. তারপরে এই affirmations করে আমরা meditation. So it's a compact meditation which will give you many things. First, silence of mind by regulating breathing, deep inner silence and a radiant awareness in your heart. A disruption in your stupid thought process. However intelligent we may be, most of our thought process is highly conditioned by memory. So it is very stupid. আবার রাগ দ্বেষ এগুলোতে জড়িত, সেই জন্য it is not reliable. So it will disrupt that and give you a deep inner sense of being. It will give you clarity of awareness. আর সুন্দর ভাব ফুটে উঠবে যেমন ঠাকুরমা চিন্তা করছি। And positive affirmations will see your identity, it will renew your sense of yourself. So at a refreshing state you will experience. Otherwise, my identity is invested in so many material things. ওটা থেকে withdraw করে একটু this touch of the soul. Swamiji বলতে हैं meditation is the most important thing about human life because it is the touch of the soul. ওটা ওই state taste করলে you will feel what insane people we are. How we are wasting the powers of our mind. That is the only sane state of existence. You are disrupting the confused thought process. तो रोज এটা একটুখানি প্র্যাকটিস করতে হয়। আপনি জব করেন না, আপনারা মোস্ট অফ ইউ মাইট বি দেখা নিয়েছেন, তো যখন জব করেন আগে ব্রিং ইয়োরসেলফ টু আ লেভেল অফ স্টিলনেস লাইক দিস, তারপর জব করুন। কোনো রকমে ছুটে এসে মনের মধ্যে নানা রকম চলছে, মালা নিয়ে বসলাম, তখন কি করে হবে জব? Invest some time. After a certain age, your own mind will tell you, withdraw a little and put some time into this. Every day, morning, evening, 20 minutes. It will give you so much in life. The real taste of life is peace, awareness, and Shuddha Bhav. That is the real taste of life. Not coffee, not chocolate, not television. That is synthetic joy. If you want original joy, you must go into meditation.